He's Steve Stockman. We've probably already talked about him before in a previous Political Maniac this month, but he's back at it again. Here he is, smiling about some evil new plan he has to rob the American people. Here's what he's got going on this week. Congressman claims people are struggling to survive on food stamps because they're intentionally buying overpriced food. Conservative Representative Steve Stockman from Texas, political maniac extraordinaire, has issued a press release on Tuesday that the SNAP, or Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, provides cushy benefits to recipients, and accused Democrats protesting proposed cuts of engaging in a left-wing publicity stunt intended to make it appear that proposed cuts to food stamps would leave families unable to feed themselves. On Friday, the Senate advanced a farm bill that would take $4 billion out of the SNAP. The House is considering cutting the program by 2.5%, leaving more than 2 million families without food assistance. And in response, we've heard about this in the news recently. I think this is a great little social experiment. 26 members of Congress are taking the quote-unquote SNAP challenge, which is they're living off a food stamp budget for a week to draw attention to the inadequacy of the program. And
which members do we know?
I can find the list for you. But the most interesting thing about this is that the average benefit
$45.
$450.
$45 a week, $450 a day per each family member.
Yeah, exactly. Which is unbelievable. I can't even imagine that. So here's where Steve Stockman comes in. He says that he has debunked their effort by taking the SNAP food challenge himself. He said that he went out and shopped, and essentially what he did was, kind of went against the spirit of what the challenge was, which is to plan strategically and, buy food for a family, plan in advance, and actually buy healthy food. What Steve did, he bought, what was it? He just bought his two favorite foods, apparently prepared red beans and rice, and just ate that. And he said that he felt full and he actually gained weight while he was on it. But I think we all know that that is not part of a fully balanced meal. And he said that he's debunked it, and that the reason that folks are buying fast food instead of vegetables isn't because of benefit limits. They're buying fast food because fast food tastes great and vegetables taste like vegetables. What do you think about Steve Stockman this week, Richard?
Well, Steve Stockman is always a crazy one, Rich, I got to tell you. And I think this is no different. He's just a loon. And sadly, the fact that you would try to debunk the food stamp challenge is insane, because the whole ideal behind the challenge is it's almost impossible to have a healthy, balanced diet for a growing child when you only get $450 a day per family member. That's the point of it. That's the moral of the story here.
Yeah, and let's talk about the fact that, Steve Stockman probably took this challenge. Maybe he made it the entire week. What about someone who's living on this, and don't get to go back to their prime rib and congressional catered meal, after the challenge is over?
Exactly. Think about this in 365 days a year. You're on food stamps. It's a completely different distinction. I'm on it for 7 days, or I'm on it for 30 days. Because on day 31 and on day -1, before you started, the day after it's over, you can go back to eating normally.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is totally crazy. Steve Stockman seems to always have a good sound bite.